Hey y'all, it's your girl KV back with another review of Married to Medicine. So, per usual, it's the last two episodes, episodes 12 and 13. We'll get right to it. Season 10, episode 12, Hilton Head, Here We Come. So, with this episode starts out with everybody meeting up at Simone's house because they about to bust into Hilton Head. Y'all, I'm still mad that this is the best that they can do for their 10 year because they've been on better trips in the past. But you know what I think is the problem? They spent too much money on the cast themselves this year. Between Phaedra being there, they had to pay Phaedra, and I feel like Phaedra probably makes more than all of the girls on Married to Medicine simply because of her time spent on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I just feel like Phaedra, she's a lawyer. Of course, she's going to up her pay and make sure she's getting what she feels like she's worth. So between Quad, they spent two. I mean, between Phaedra, and then remember they thought that Quad wasn't coming back this season, so they got Dr. Alicia. Quad came back, so they had to pay Quad and Alicia to be on the cast. And I feel like now that like we realize the budget ain't budgeting because of their 10 year trip, I feel like that also may have something to do with the fact that they didn't sign Quad on for a full season. Seems like they had some reasons why, as far as how she is always late. She probably made it a little easy for them to give her half a season. But now that we see that the budget ain't budgeted, it's definitely giving they spent too much money between Phaedra, Quad, and Alicia. And this is the best they can do. That it's still disrespectful. It's still disrespectful to send them folks to Hilton Head for their 10 year, in my opinion. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If I was the cast, I probably would have been like, man, we'll just help pay for a better trip than this because this is just ridiculous. I probably would have said that, to be honest. Anyway, back to the show. We see Letitia and Dr. Gregory. They're matching, so everybody's making fun of them, as they always do. They're the butt of everybody's jokes this season. Simply because why not? Like, it's so easy to make fun of them because of the predicament that they're in. Not saying that they have to be, what's that word? Hazed. But yeah, everybody definitely has some type of hazing when it comes to these reality TV shows, especially if they don't come in as a part of the original group. If they coming in after season one, season two, there's a bit of hazing. And then you add in the fact that you are the new wife. We used to hang with the ex-wife and she was an original. So they're just kind of, it's easy to pick on them, basically. They're trying to figure out where Heavenly, Damon, Jackie, and Curtis at. So they call Heavenly. Heavenly says she's not coming because Curtis don't want to go. I think that was worded weird for me. She should have said, well, if Jackie not coming because Curtis going, I don't want to go. But her saying she don't want to go because Curtis don't want to go, it just made me be like, okay. I get what she's saying though, because Jackie would have went, but if Curtis ain't going, Jackie ain't going, thus Heavenly ain't going. So she just skipped that little middle part, but it still gave me ick that she put it on somebody else's husband. Just like it's your friend not going, you don't want to go. Just like it's your friend. Also, this aggravated Toya to her core. Toya was so upset by this, and I don't understand why people thought that Heavenly would go. Heavenly has overly voiced her opinion on how she feels like they should change the trip. How Simone wrong for not remembering. How Simone wrong for not changing it once she did catch up to speed to remember this is where Curtis cheated. Heavenly all but said F this trip. And she may have said F this trip. So why people were expecting Heavenly to go if Jackie wasn't going was beyond me. Especially because Heavenly is that friend that if her friend ain't feeling right about something, she's gonna stay with that friend. Think back to seasons ago. This was right in the midst of Quad and Gregory's divorce when Quad had just got the townhouse or the bull apartment, as Toya called it. And Quad invited Heavenly to come over before Heavenly was headed to Mariah's Black Love Party. And Quad, they invited Quad, but Quad didn't feel right with going because she's like, why would she have a Black Love Party in the middle of me having a divorce? And Heavenly was like, you're absolutely right. I'm going to stay here with you because my friend needs me. So this is the friend that Heavenly is. Love it or hate it, she's going to be there for her girls. Personally, I love it. I don't have a problem with it because if you're that friend that's down and in need, you would want a friend like Heavenly to stand 10 toes down with you and be like, well, if she's not feeling away and everybody else wants to ignore it, I'm going to stand with her. Whether her feelings are right or wrong, you would always want a friend to be there for you. So, Heavenly is on the phone. I ain't coming. I ain't going. They call Jackie. Jackie's just like, yeah, well, we talked about it, and he just don't think it's a good idea. He feels like it'll be us moving backwards. We don't want for people to bring it up and make us talk about it. And then Jackie starts crying. She's just like, I'll talk to y'all later. I'm going to talk to y'all later. So everybody's feeling bad. Everybody's like, dang, what's going on? Toya is still talking smack. And Toya just be annoying me because I'm sure she has friends and I'm sure she, stands 10 toes down for something or somebody. But she never understands people's loyalties and she doesn't show any at all when it comes to not embarrassing her husband. So it's just always like, oh, here we go again. Toya on the bus saying that this is so high school. This is so high school for them not to come. It's actually not though. It might be a little childish. I wouldn't even say childish. It might be a little high school of Curtis to not want to go because of the circumstances, but Heavenly staying with her, I truly don't feel a way about that. I truly don't. So on the bus, they talking about. I think Eugene was like, "We giving this too much energy. We're not gonna keep talking about this." And Cecil's like, "Yeah, let's take some shots. Let's take some shots." I think Phaedra said, like, I don't want to take no shot. I'm not taking no shots. And somebody, it may have been Toya, was like, well, I'm going to put it up your butt. You're going to take this shot one way or another. And this sparks Dr. Eugene to talk about when he was in medical school or residency, there was this case where this guy had OD'd because he had all of these sex toys around in varying sizes, and he was putting cocaine on the tip of the sex toy and putting it up his anus. He OD'd and died. Now, the first time I watched the episode, I was like, how did we get here? How on earth did we get to this story? And then when I rewinded it or watched it back and I heard somebody tell Phaedra they was going to make her take the shot up her booty, I'm like, okay, I see how we got here. So, at some point, when they get to the house, they're there, and I can't remember. Some of this stuff might be out of order because, like I said, I just be watching it sometimes and take notes on it later and take notes from memory or take notes from other people's reviews and stuff because sometimes it'd be like, once I get to talking about the same thing over and over, I just kind of black out sometimes. Well, not black out. I just kind of zone out sometime. Or, y'all know I got a toddler. She might come up to me asking me something. So, I don't remember where everything is gently placed. So, I just put it where it makes sense to me. So, at some point, they get on the topic of Dr. Kimma. Is it Kimma? Dr. Kimma and his misogynistic ways. He talks about how he has Dr. Alicia trained to be at his beck and call. They talk about how women supposed to be in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant and cooking and stuff. Like, What you talking about? So once everybody gets to the house and they're getting settled in, Phaedra ends up asking the men to help her get her luggage upstairs. She's real, can somebody help me get my luggage upstairs? And Dr. Kimma is like, yeah, that's a woman right there, basically. And so at some point they're like, somebody asked, what y'all doing? And Alicia was like, getting Phaedra to teach us how to ask our men for stuff. And Phaedra's over there like coaching Dr. Alicia. You so strong. Oh, baby, I need your help. I need your help. Help. You so strong. And Kim is just like, yep. Because don't forget, Dr. Alicia said that she told her husband that he's not a man because he wasn't doing handy stuff around the house. She the one that had to pick up the hammer and the nail to get some little tasks done around the house. So he wants her to be a little more submissive, a little less mouthy. Next, we see when they talk about this, Letitia gonna turn to Gregor and say, "You want to give me something to drink?" He said, "Not right now." Girl, I don't even know why you tried that to get yourself embarrassed on TV. You know Gregory is not the type to do stuff for their woman. Gregory just ain't never seemed like that type. Gregory gonna pay the bills, and then you everything else. You everything else, sweetheart. So they're outside, they're eating, and the missing four arrive: Jackie, Curtis, Damon, and Heavenly. And some of the guys they like, oh, y'all rode a flight here, y'all took a flight here, y'all rode the PJ here. How y'all getting here right after we get here? And they're a little salty because they flew and didn't have to ride in the Sprinter. Eugene is annoyed and he's saying, because they had the topic of, well, why weren't y'all gonna come? Well, we didn't want people to be confronting us about this. Eugene is annoyed because he's like, well, we're your friends. Why would you feel like us, your friends, would bring up this stuff to make y'all feel away and to bring up a bad part of y'all marriage? Like, we would never do that to you. That's not what we would do. Sir, have you met your wife? Have you met your wife, Toya? That is absolutely something she would do. Okay, crazy. Curtis gets all loud and bold and he starts fussing and hollering at people talking about this is what they not finna do. They not finna have this convo. Yada yada yada. And that basically activates Letitia. She's like, well, why can't you be in the hot seat? Y'all put me in the hot seat. Y'all keep bringing up the ex-wife and saying her name and talking about this and talking about that. You know, so why can't you be in the hot seat if I can be in the hot seat? Jackie said, I'm in the hot seat every day. I have to tell a woman that they got breast cancer. I'm in the hot seat every day that I go into the office and I have to walk with my patients. Da, 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 da. I'm in the hot seat every day that I have to deliver babies that I can't have. And Tanisha was just like, okay, well, damn. Because Jackie, it was just kind of like, I feel you, but girl, okay, okay, okay. So at this point, Simone apologizes. She wants everything to calm down. She ends up apologizing for forgetting about this is the place that Curtis cheated. And she starts saying something like, well, Jackie is the only one that matters, and da 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 da. And this sets Heavenly off, and they start arguing and cussing, and it gets all loud. And Letitia talking about this is embarrassing. Why can't we all get along? Sweetheart, you was just hollering and cussing and yelling just 5 minutes ago. Save that. Save it. At this point, them hollering and yelling, we see people walking down the street with their cameras out like, oh, what's going on over there? What's going on over there? So at this point, they like, we got to take it inside. We got to go inside. We can't be disrupting the neighborhood, about to get kicked up out of this nice little house in quiet little Hilton Head. So they get in the house, and Letitia is still in her feelings because she feels like it's hypocritical that they didn't protect her from any scrutiny, but they protected Jackie from any scrutiny. I see see both sides because Tisha is just looking at it from her point of view. I'm here. Y'all been picking on me. Y'all been bringing up anything y'all can to make jokes on me. But now that we have this situation with somebody else, y'all trying to protect her so that the same thing doesn't happen to her. But in reality, Jackie faced just as much scrutiny that Letitia is facing for her situation when the Curtis cheating situation happened. Half of them ladies was basically telling her that it was her fault that he cheated because he constantly, repeatedly told her he needed time. I need time with you. You're my wife. I want to spend time with you. You come in the house, you charting, you work all day, you go to sleep with the computer in your lap. You ain't got no time for me. We ain't been on no dating forever. We were supposed to go to Paris 10 years ago. We still ain't been. Them ladies definitely put Dr. Jackie in the fire when it was going on. So for Letitia to want to put Jackie back in the fire just because it was brought back up because of the situation with Hilton Head, it's just kind of like, girl, if you was here 5 years ago, you would have been able to poke all the fun that you want to. But you knew here, you late, you chose the situation that you in, you knew that you was going to come on this show and be picked on. You literally came on the ex-wife's show. It's not like Dr. Gregory had been on this show in the interim since the divorce. Y'all chose to pick y'all butts up and come on this show that you knew the ex-wife was on. I don't have no sympathy. I don't have no sympathy. I can see her point of view because I'm a fair person. I can see when people can say something is hypocritical or people feel away because they feel like they're being mistreated. But this is a situation that you totally put yourself in. Jackie didn't put herself in this situation. She was low-key forced to be put in this situation. So, I get it, but I don't at the same time. So, where we at? She mentioned that Jackie was making fun of her at the bachelorette party, saying that, since they invited Quad, they was going to invite the girl from the hotel room that Gregory cheated on Quad with to the bachelorette party next. Heavenly kind of cleared this up on one of the lives. Heavenly said that after Quad was at the bachelorette party and they made her leave, and after Letitia got the call that there was going to be another $15K on the wedding, and she had her breakdown because everything was just coming at her at once, she said, what more can they do to me? What more can they do to me? This is so messed up. What else is going to happen? They can't break my heart no more. This is just too much. And Jackie was like, now, baby, don't say that, because they'll bring the girl from the hotel to the bachelor party next. So don't ask for it. Don't ask for them to do more. That's what Heavenly said that Jackie said. It sounds believable. It don't sound that far-fetched to me. So, they trying to make Letitia calm down, but Jackie is just like, basically, say what you gotta say. I can take it, get it off your chest. And Letitia was like, it felt like they was cutting stuff out, because it felt like Jackie may have said a little bit more, and then Letitia was like, F you, B, F you, and everybody was just sitting there like, not that I feel like Jackie is above reproach, because she's not. Call her out when it's time to be called out. But this was just so misplaced. And like Heavenly said on the latest live, like, read somebody like they read you. That's how the grown women do. If Jackie wouldn't, Heavenly said, you say something like that to me. You say FUB to somebody like me. But to Jackie, she said she's very readable. It was plenty of stuff that she could have said that wasn't FUB. Heavenly said, I ain't gonna read it because that's my friend, but she's readable. Jackie is readable. It was plenty of ways for her to come at Jackie that wasn't that. And I agree. It just felt so misplaced. It made Letitia seem childish and emotional. And it was just like, girl, go fix yourself. Go get yourself together. Go in the bathroom and cry real quick or something, because you doing a lot. Do you need a nap, baby girl? I'm surprised she ain't say, you need a nap, baby girl? You seem a little cranky. She was just like, I'll handle baby girl later. In confessionals, Eugene was like, well, I mean, it is hypocritical for them to constantly be calling her little girl, baby girl, and all this stuff, and not expecting her to call them old women. But it's so annoying when Sweet Tea does it because she's trying to be insulting. Because she was in there like, oh, I feel like we not getting along on this trip because they a bunch of old women and da 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 da. But it's like these are your husband's peers. So are you gonna insult your husband in the same way and say, well, you an old man, this, that, and the third? So it was just kind of like this is the crowd you wanted to be in so very badly. You knew that your husband was 50 something years old, dang near 60. You knew that his friends would be around the same age. So constantly being like, oh man, old women, these old women, these old women, it's just kind of like you're saying it to be insulting where I feel like they saying it. I guess it can be seen as they're saying it to be insulting as well. But I just feel like that's them with their light shade. It's just not that deep. But the way you can tell she just feels a way, it be burning her up inside. So, like I said, Jackie was just like, I'll handle baby girl later. And Dr. Gregory is like, yeah, y'all don't want me to release sweet tea on y'all. Y'all don't want me to release sweet tea on y'all. Yeah, my baby got me. Heavenly Petty Self gonna say, Quad was worse. This is the exact reason why she mad. So the fact that she went off on Jackie like she did, and it wasn't Heavenly, which I guess she already went off at Heavenly at the funeral but the fact that it was Jackie and not Heavenly cracked me up. It's like she waiting for her moment to get everybody back. Which, like I said, I get it because she's feeling like she's being attacked and gang up on. So Gregory doing all that grandstanding in front of everybody else because he gonna have his wife back. I don't mind that. But once they get to their room in private, he's basically telling her, that she should apologize to Jackie because that was a lie. That was way left field. I feel like the argument wasn't even going in that direction for you to take it that far. So you might just need to apologize. So she says, okay, but I was only trying to protect you, husband. I was only trying to make sure that they stayed up off of you and stop with these jokes about your past and your ex-wife. So the next day, we see Simone and Heavenly make up per usually. Simone is just like, oh, you always do this. You always apologize, and then it's good for a while, and then you do the same thing all over again. And Heavenly like, you right. Y'all, I don't care. Heavenly is my problematic fave, but like I said, problematic, I can admit that she's problematic. She definitely has some ways where it's like, I'd probably be the same way that everybody is around her to a certain degree because Heavenly, she says she a producer. She says she a producer, and in that sense, she is gonna bring up the mess. She is gonna call it out and make people have those uncomfortable conversations and stuff. She is gonna blow up people's spot every now and again. But the thing with Heavenly is all her cards are on the table. You know what hand she finna play next. If you don't want her bringing something up and spraying you with your tea, don't tell her or bring up your own tea so that can't nobody spray you with it. That's how I feel. Heavenly is one of those people you have to adjust. You can't treat her like every other friend you got in life. You have to adjust to how Heavenly is. I like Heavenly. She be wrong sometimes. She can be very problematic, but I like her because she all her cards are on the table. You ain't never got to worry about how Heavenly feel. With some of the other ladies, they can be real sneaky. They can be real catty. You got to wonder what they did to upset you. I don't have time for that. They're way too grown for how some of them will act as far as shunning each other or, trying to ice people out and stuff. So ain't nobody gonna ever make me not like Heavenly. So they're getting ready. The ladies are gonna go golfing and the guys are gonna go to the cooking class. The last scene on this episode, dang, I've been on here almost 30 minutes talking about one episode and got a whole other episode to do. Jesus. On the bus, Tisha apologizes to Jackie. It seems sincere, all of that, and Jackie told her, apologies are for you. And everybody was just like, ooh. And Tisha gonna lean over, I think it was to Heavenly, and say, you think she accepted it? No. Heavenly barely let her get her question out before she was like, no. Because what kind of question was that, girl? Nothing about Jackie's response was saying that I accept and receive your apology, okay? She didn't even give you the Buffy. I receive it, done with it. Baby, she didn't even receive it, okay? She returned to sender, okay? Return to sender. Apologies are for you. Good night. So that cracked me up, y'all. I ended up watching the live, and I always watch the live. I always watch the Messy Mondays afterwards. And on the live from that week, I can't remember how the conversation started, but Toya and Heavenly ended up talking about being messy and bringing up messy situations and who usually ruined the trip. Of course, Toya said, well, Heavenly, you done ruined trips before too, so don't try to make this, about somebody else and how they treat people, yada, yada, yada. And she was referring to when Heavenly had the messy questions that came, like questions that the viewers would ask them. And they had everybody arguing. And Heavenly was saying, well, I didn't ask this. I asked it this way. And Toya was like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. And they was arguing back and forth about it. And so Toya was like, here, Eugene pulled up the clip. Eugene pulled up the clip. You can look at it now. Heavenly, she was like, girl, what? He over there, your man do this? Your man be watching this? So he was like, yeah, he watched the show. He on the show. She was like, Damon on the show? He don't be watching it. My husband wouldn't be looking up no reality TV. My husband wouldn't be looking up no reality TV. And it's just so funny because Eugene ain't as bad as Peter, but sometimes he does insert himself where it's like, just go over there with the man, baby. But great for TV. Eugene and Toya, great for TV. So on Messy Mondays, Heavenly brought up how Toya says a lot of things for production, like bringing up Apollo at the birthday party. And I can believe it. I can believe it. Toya is the Ashley. Toya and Heavenly to a certain degree, because if production say this need to be talked about, it's gonna be Toya or Heavenly that brings it up. Just like on Potomac, it's Ashley that brings it up. So I can definitely see that, because Toya was real annoying with that. Why ain't Apollo here? Why ain't Apollo here? I would think that he would be here at his birthday party. It's his birthday. Why would Apollo be here? She treated him like that just because he was a criminal. He went to jail. Like, girl, mind your business. Going on somewhere. So next, episode 13, Golf Cart Girls. It picks up with them riding to the golf lessons, with Jackie not accepting T's apology. But other than that, they had fun golfing. They did a little competition, seeing who can hit the ball the furthest. And Letitia hit the ball the furthest. And was it Heavenly that was like, she the young one. She be out there golfing to get her man. She be out there golfing with her man. We should have known she was going to win. Then we also see the men in cooking class. So not only are they in cooking class, but it's a competition. They're split up in teams. Oh, gosh. They're split up in teams. Let's see if I can remember these teams. I don't. I know Eugene was on one team. So it had to be Eugene, Gregory, who the other husband? I can't remember. And then the other team was Cecil, Kima, and Damon. I remember that because as they was cooking, Dr. Kima kept trying to tell Cecil this rice ain't cooked. This rice gonna be undercooked. This rice ain't cooked. This rice ain't cooked. And I'm sitting here like, Dr. Kiva, you know your way around the kitchen as much as you fight about how your wife is trained to be in the kitchen. Where's my food? Where's my food? Where's my food? You gotta train him. But that's later on in the episode. But Kima was acting like he was excited to be in this kitchen. Yeah, I'm gonna put my Jamaican flavors in here. Yeah, Nigerian, whatever he said was either was Nigerian or Jamaican, because you know he's a Nigerian Jamaican. So Kima was actually more excited for the cooking class than I thought that he would be. But yeah, Cecil's rice was indeed undercooked. Kima was right. Of course, Eugene's team won. That man is dang near a chef. Like, y'all ain't touching Eugene in the kitchen. Remember them oysters he made? Boy, I don't even like oysters, but the way he was making them oysters look so good. He was grilling them. He had all the little stuff in there. Eugene be getting down. Eugene is always doing the cooking. I think the kids said, Mom, you make better tacos. Dad makes better everything else. So anyway, they end up going on the yacht and they have a good little time. Simone promises not to get to yelling and acting up on her like she usually do on the boats. And they give a little flashback of all the times she doesn't get to yelling and arguing and screaming at somebody's face when they're on a trip on a boat. The yacht is nice. It's not like a paddle boat. Remember when they had that little cheap boat? Where was that? I can't remember where they were, but it was such a little cheap, little pathetic little boat when everybody was expecting like a layout yacht. This was that layout yacht. So at some point, Jackie's in her confessional and she's like, I should apologize to Sweet Tea for not smacking her in her mouth like her mama should have done. See, you smack her in her mouth, and I feel like Letitia will give you all the work, all the smoke. This is what I be saying. Jackie be doing a lot sometimes. That's why I get Sweet Tea coming at her. It just was so like, whoa, that didn't match what she gave you, but okay. So yeah. At this point, Letitia is talking to Toya about the whole Jackie thing, and Toya convinces her to go over there and have a heart to heart with Jackie. It felt like a setup on Toya's part, but it actually went well. It actually went really well. Jackie received the words that Sweet Tea was saying, and she also took ownership and accountability for her condescending ways. So I was just like, okay, okay, we're getting somewhere. Because Jackie knows that she can be condescending. She might not yell and she might not curse, but her words can be very mean, very hurtful, very condescending. So I appreciated her acknowledging that. Next, it's time to eat. They get ready to eat, and I think Dr. Kimmel asked Alicia to fix his plate. So all the men like, yeah, where my plate? Where my plate? So the women playfully end up making the men's plates. And I think Curtis made a joke about how Jackie is only making his plate so that she wasn't feeling left out with all the other women making the plates. Yep, I'm sure. And Kimma is like, yeah, you gotta train him. You gotta train him every day when you come home. Where's my food? Where's my food? Where's my food? Where's my food? To the point that when you get home and the food already, she's like, don't worry, baby. I'm almost done. I'm gonna get your food. I'm gonna get your food. And the man was just like, no. And he said something like, yeah, like Pablo had the dogs. Like Pablo had the dogs. And Eugene was just like, that's not good. That's not okay. I don't have a problem with my man comparing me to Pavlov's dog. And if y'all don't know what that is, it's the experiment where they had this dog, and every day, I don't even know if it was around the same time, every day they would ring a bell and feed the dog right after they rang the bell. They did this for such a consistent amount of time that anytime the dog would hear the bell ring, his mouth started watering because he was expecting his food. So they trained him to know that dinner was coming after the bell. Don't ever compare me to training a freaking dog. Just disrespectful. So the women start getting on Dr. Alicia about Kimma training her, and she's just like, well, he just be playing, he just be playing, he not for real, he just be playing. And I can see why she says that, because I'm sure he's not disrespectful with it at home. But I'm sure he does that. He does be like, "Where my food at? Is dinner ready?" Now I don't think she's running to trip over herself to make sure he got dinner ready. I feel like she's definitely making dinner though, but she might be mouthing off while doing it. So she ain't as trained as he would like people to think she is. She's real mouthy, and the fact that she done told him before, you ain't a man because you ain't doing the handy stuff around the house. We know that she not, not giving him hell when she don't want to. So I can see what she's saying, but we still see her husband being an asshole. It is what it is. So then they end up on a topic about how they don't give fellatio and cunnilingus, Dr. Alicia and Kimma. And she claims that she's fine with that. But we all saw the confessional a couple of weeks ago and he was like, she don't like it, she don't want it. And she was just like, I mean, you could do it more. Yeah, you could do it more. We all saw that. So as much as she wanna act like she don't want it, she don't like it, you already told us that you want it and you just adjusted to him not giving it. So she ends up, Alicia says something like, well, I enjoy my husband's D. I enjoy my husband's D. Toya said, yeah, I hope so, because that's all you getting. And then she asks her, are you doing it right? Do you like when you do it? Maybe you're not doing something right. And basically she don't know how to give head, so that's why he don't want head. Not that he don't want head. She said, no, I'm a queen, and he just doesn't want me that low. And everybody's just like, okay. But I mean, of course, Alicia is defending her marriage. Who wouldn't? Ain't nobody finna just sit there and let them tear up her marriage like that. And she ends up arguing with Toya. Toya was like, but your man said he got you trained. Your man said he got you trained. Alicia snaps back and says, Eugene needs to train you. I said, ooh. She said he need to put a collar on you with a remote where he can look, looking all crazy. She was doing a lot. I mean, I get that she was getting tired of Toya, but Alicia's response is always like so crazy, so annoying. But I was laughing a little bit, but she did look crazy. Says she need the remote where he can shock her every time she acting up. Toya said, I mean, the only remote we got over here is to some vibrating panties because we have orgasms over here. Crack me up because Dr. Alicia definitely gives. I gotta sneak and get my vibrator when he go to sleep. That's what she gives. I don't know why I say that. I could be totally wrong, but she definitely gives. I have to sneak and pleasure myself when he's gone. That's just the vibes I get, y'all. That's just the vibes I get. So they off the yacht. They finna go to the house, and then they had them little tent parties, which was hilarious to me because it's like I don't think I've ever seen adults have the little sleepover tent parties. It's usually like a kid sleepover. I know they wasn't sleeping in it, but it still was like, okay, girl. I think Simone had set it up. So they put on their PJs, they go down to the little living room and sit in front of the tents, and they were given some cards. I can't remember if they had to write a question or not, but they had these questions and they had to ask these relationship questions. Of course, sex comes up because, I mean, we're grown. So sex comes up and they ask everyone if they're having enough sex. Cecil and Curtis are both like, we married to doctors. Of course, we don't have enough sex. Eugene says he's having more sex and I guess better sex since the weight loss. He's got a little bit more energy, a little bit more stamina. But he also says that, yeah, he be tired sometimes, but even if he tired, he still gonna make do. So if Toya needs him, he gonna make time. Even if it's to help her take her weave out. And all the men was just like, I don't know, couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Alicia brings up money issues and how Kima had lost a bunch of money in crypto. She talks about how she wanted to invest this money in properties because she is a dentist. She's not practicing right now because they have two small kids, but she's also a real estate agent and wanted to invest in these properties. He didn't want to do that. He turns around and says that she spent 150K and can't account for it. And she just sitting there looking like, so everybody was just kind of like, what you mean she spent $150,000 and can't account for it? So he's like, yeah, I have to manage our finances or we'll be living in a poor house with how she is doing it. And that's how the episode kind of ends off. So when they went live, did nobody go on live with Heavenly? She was on live with fans. I think Alicia ended up tapping in just to argue. And like I said, she is just so exhausting. She be so defensive when it don't really call for all that energy. So naturally, people assumed, dang, she took $150,000 and can't account for it. Maybe she put it in, the runaway stash, the man account. If something happens, I got this money over here to where you don't think you can leave me high and dry because I've been a housewife and I ain't had no income. Naturally, that's what most people gonna think. That's where my mind went to. She came on the live hollering at Heavenly about that's not the case, and she has children, and that money was spent on the children, their daycare, their piano lessons, yada yada yada. Then she ends up saying something about how it was some investments, and she wanted to put the money in some investments. And, oh, but I did spend it on the kids, and it was just like you can't even keep your story together, so we don't even know what to believe, baby girl. So that was annoying because Alicia just likes to argue. It's like I feel like everything don't call for a knockdown, drag out argument. You can literally just have a conversation. It can literally just be like, actually, girlfriend, I did XYZ, okay? So you got it wrong. But Alicia has to be so extra in the way she defends herself. And it's just like, girl, it's exhausting. So that was how the episode and the live went. Like I said, the watch along live was I didn't even watch it all because Heavenly was mostly talking to fans and they was just asking questions that she can't answer because they asking questions about the reunion, questions about the finale. Like we haven't seen it yet, y'all. She can't just tell us what happened. Like the show still gotta come on. And on Messy Mondays, yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it was no new tea revealed on Messy Mondays, but boy, was it hilarious and messy. Heavenly keeps saying that she a producer. Oh, that was another thing on the live. Heavenly kept saying that she a producer and she might bring Alicia back. I might bring you back next season. I don't know yet. I might bring you back. Like Alicia said, your name wasn't on my check. Your name wasn't on my check. You ain't no producer. You ain't got the right to bring me back or not bring me back. That ain't in your wheelhouse, girl. But Heavenly was like, yes, I do. I'm a producer. So that had me cracking up because Heavenly is just so silly and it's like you really can't take her serious most of the time because she's just so silly. And she was talking about how, well, I'm a producer. This is on the Messy Monday. I'm a producer, so next season we ain't going no Hilton Head. Next season we gonna go to Africa to see if they really don't give head. Like Kima said, we gonna walk around and ask if they really give head. We gonna go to the Dominican to see what Curtis really out there doing. See what properties they built. See what they doing. Cause somebody had brought up Tammy, which was Cecil's friend that almost had them to break up seasons ago. Somebody was like, "Oh, I bet your Tammy house bigger than that house," or da da da. I bet you this. So Heavenly was just going on. We going to DR to see about this. We going to Africa to see about this. We going here to see about this. Just being so silly. I truly enjoy her and Carlos King's Messy Mondays because they're both the same type of messy. Just one is a black woman, one is a black gay man, and it just be so funny because Heavenly be gagging Carlos King with his messy self. So it be funny. They said they're gonna be doing the same thing for Love and Marriage Huntsville once that comes back. And honestly, that might be the one thing that keeps me watching just so that I can see what them fools is talking about. But anyway, y'all, that's it. That is the end of this review. I'm all caught up. I'm gonna try my bestest to get this last month of episodes back on track to just doing 1 week, so I don't have to spend 30 to 45 minutes trying to do two shows at once. I could just do a little 15, 25 minutes, one episode, knock it out, get back to my family, get back to my food, all of the things. Um, yeah, because we got like a month left with these two shows. We got a month left because the finale and then 3 part reunion. And then I think Love and Marriage Huntsville will be coming back around that time. And Martha's Vineyard Summer House will be coming back around that time. And I think Love at the Lockup or Love During Lockup might be coming around back at that time too. We gonna see. We gonna see what I end up reviewing, y'all. We gonna see. Let me know what y'all want me to review down in the comments, and I will take note of that. But make sure y'all like the channel, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment, tell me the things and all of the things, y'all. I will see y'all on the next review next week. Between Monday and Wednesday, I'm dedicated to getting the Potomac and the Married to Medicine reviews done. Y'all pray about it. All right, y'all. Bye.